Okay. Good morning. This is Nicole Whitlock with the weekly ecom planning session. We were supposed to have the session an hour ago, so I apologize, guys. I did actually oversleep. Ah, the joys of having an autistic son who will not sleep through the night. But in any case, my name is Nicole Whitlock. And this is the weekly ecom planning session. My passion is helping people on their e-commerce journey, helping them to get organized, get focused, get consistent in their business. And so, if that is you, I'm here for you. You can schedule a free 20-minute coaching session. But before we get into that, I just want to invite you to go over to the e-commerce planning Facebook group and download the weekly ecom planning session. And in there, we're going to step through what we need to do to put together our game plan for next week. So we're live on Clubhouse. We're live in the e-commerce planning Facebook group. And we're going to use this weekly ecom planning session to put together our agenda, our intentions for next week. Because I believe that incremental improvements implemented over time can reshape your entire business. It's all the little things that we do, it's the daily activities we engage in that will contribute to our weekly success. It is the weekly activities that we engage in that will contribute to our monthly success. It's the monthly activities that we do that will contribute to our quarterly success. And it's the quarterly things that we do that will contribute to our yearly success. So if you have a vision for a completely different business in 2023, then it is time for you to go ahead and put together a game plan for next week that outlines what you're going to be doing each day so that you can make progress not only in your life but also in your business. So with that, I've already downloaded the weekly econ planning checklist. And there are a couple of components, two main components of this. The first component is building our weekly template. The weekly template is sort of our guidebook on the activities that we're going to engage in order to be successful. And then after we put together the template, which is sort of our guide, then we will engage in the building the actual schedule. So the template gives us the pieces, the components, the little segments of our day and our week. And the actual schedule is all of the what. So when I say the what, if I indicate on my schedule that Monday through Friday that I am going to be listing products from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m., then what are the products that I'm going to be listing? Well, I might be listing Valentine's Day. I might be listing St. Patrick's Day. I might be listing my private label product with some bundles that are specific to the season that's coming up. Because spring is around the corner, believe it or not. I know it's still January. It's still cold outside and snow is still coming down. But spring is around the corner, so maybe I bundle my private label product with something that is related to spring or another holiday that happens to be coming up. I could be getting ready for Easter, so maybe what I do if I'm running a print on demand business, I start pulling together my I'll start pulling together my Easter ideas, my Easter drafts, my Easter, designs and listings and doing my keyword research for Easter. So my point is, depending on your e-commerce method and model, there's going to be some specific things that you're going to do and pertaining to your activity around listing Monday through Friday of next week. If it's 9 until 10 or 9 until 11, what is it that I'm going to be listing? That's your actual schedule versus the template is just going to say, I'm going to list from 9 to 11, but it doesn't say what I'm going to list. Inside of the weekly planning checklist, we also have like an actual um, template of a schedule. It's in the middle pages. It just sort of time blocks the entire schedule of activities. There's going to be different activities that you're going to engage in your business, depending on the model of your business. There's probably a product research component of your business. There is a sourcing component of your business, depending on your business model. There is a listing component of your business. There is a fulfillment or shipping, depending on your model of business, component of your business. There's maybe some traffic or marketing. There's maybe that component of your business. All this depends on what your model is. So or method of e-commerce. So those are the things that, this template that I built are going to outline and focus on. So let's go back to the first page of the weekly ecom planning checklist. Building that template, there's a couple different ways you can do it. If you have the My Ecom Planner, you can open up your My Ecom Planner for the month. And at the beginning, we have a weekly template that you can use to kind of outline your activities for the week. And then you can plug in the actual, what are those activities throughout the week, or your next couple of pages. If you don't have the My Ecom Planner, you can grab a notebook, just a plain notebook, or you can pull out a Google spreadsheet. So if you've never used Google Spreadsheets, if you have a Gmail account, in the upper right-hand corner of your Gmail, when you log into your Gmail account, are the 9 dots. I call it the Rubik's Cube, but that's not what it is. And other people have called it different things. I call it that. So you click on the 9 dots, and once you click there, you'll find a triangle for Drive. It'll be the Google Drive. You select Google Drive, and once you select the Google Drive, you'll be able to go over to the left-hand side and go and download click on the plus that's on the left-hand side. There'll be a multicolored plus. That plus, you want to choose Google Sheets. Google Sheets is green. And so choose that. And then once you choose it, you'll have the opportunity to use a Google Sheet to be able to write down the stuff that we're about to do. So when I'm talking about next week, I am actually talking about not just my business, but also my personal life. What are the things that are in my personal life that I need to consider, think about, focus on, things like that? Maybe there's something major that's coming up next week that you need to put on your schedule or your agenda, your plans. Maybe there is something pertaining to your business. Maybe there's something pertaining to your life, your personal life. So my point is, the schedule is not just going to be about your business. It's going to be about everything that's happening in your life next week. So with that being said, sorry, someone is like reaching out to me. So I'm just trying to give him a message to tell him, look, I'm recording. All right. So the next thing that we're going to do is, if you have the notebook or you have the Google Sheet, if you're using the Google Sheet, we're going to use 9 columns on the sheet 1. So at the very bottom on the left-hand side, I want you to click on the plus, so you'll have a sheet 1 and a sheet 2. On sheet 1, that's where we're going to put all the stuff for the template, like just the things that you currently do, your brainstorming ideas. And then on sheet 2 is where we're going to build the actual template. Okay. So sheet 1, and if you're using a notebook, you're probably going to use about 4 pages, maybe 5. Okay. So if you're using a notebook, on page 1 of your notebook, we're going to write down the things that we already do, things that we already do in our life and already do in our business. These are things that work well in our life and our business, that are serving our life and our business well. And so we're going to keep those things. That's like committed time, dedicated time. That's time that is unmovable. An example might be, if you get up every morning and you've been doing this consistently, getting up every morning and meditating, or getting up every morning and going for a walk, then keep getting up every morning and going for a walk. If you do that every day at like 7 a.m., then just keep doing that. And that's dedicated time. You're not going to schedule business stuff. You're not going to schedule work stuff. You're not going to do anything else with that. If that's something you've been doing consistently, then that's reserved and dedicated time, and you're already committing that time to an activity. So those are things that you already do. So page 1 is going to be things that we already do in your notebook. Page 2 is going to be things that we need or must do to grow ourselves or to grow our business. These are requirements, minimum requirements. And page 3 are going to be things that you want to do or should do in your life and in your business. Maybe these are things that you do. You do them, but you do them randomly and you want to build some consistency around them. So these are things that you want or should do. And when it comes to your Google Sheet, sheet 1, we're going to do the same concept. So column A1 is going to be the things that you already do, and you're going to do a brain dump in a list form. So you're just going to write down the things going down the column of things that you already do. I already go to Bible study on Wednesdays. I already go for a walk every morning at 7 a.m. or 6 a.m. I already blah, blah, blah. So the things that you already do, maybe you already list consistently. And maybe you have a dedicated time that's worked for you for the last 5 years, and you always list from 9 o'clock until 10 o'clock, no matter what. That's something you already do. So you write that down. So column A1 is going to be things that you're already doing, and you're just going to do a brain dump going down that column. B1 and C1 is going to be when do I do those things, which is which day do I normally do those things, and what time do I normally do those things is going to be C1. So which day is B1, and C1 is going to be what time do I normally do those things. Okay. Then when we talk about things that we need to do or must do in our business or our life, these are things that are going to serve us well. These are things that are going to move the needle in our business or improve our business in some form. And so these are things that are really going to make a difference in our business and in our life. So what are those things that you need or must do? So those will go in column D1, E1, and F1. Again, you're doing it in a column. You're going to fill in the column. So do a brain dump and write those things down. So D1 is going to be things that you need or must do. These are like lifeblood things. These are things that are going to make a difference, and you don't do them right now. So you're not seeing what you want to see in your business. E1 is going to be the day in which you do them. And so we're going to leave E1 blank, and then F1 column going down would be the time in which we do those things. We're going to leave that blank as well. Okay. So as we go through this process of writing this stuff out, now we're going to go to the next phase, which is, and if you're using the notebook, then you're just going to go to another page. And on that other page, you can draw lines to go create columns going down. And it's going to be what you need or must do in your life and your business. And which day do you do them is the next column, and what time. Now you're going to leave those blank in your notebook. Okay, so now we've created 2 pages in our notebook, or we've got a set of columns that are inside of our spreadsheet, our Google Sheet. The last set is things that you want or should be doing. These are things that you do them, but you're not very consistent, or you do them, but maybe they're just not things that you're committed to doing. So an example of that might be is maybe you're already listing every week, but your listing is just all over the scoreboard. It's like a scatter diagram. And so you're listing, maybe the first week of the month, you list haphazardly and randomly on Monday and Thursday. And then week 2, not always the same. Like you're not even consistent with that. But let's just say in this example, week 2, then you're listing on Tuesday and then Wednesday and Thursday. And then week 3, you decide you're going to list 5 days a week. And then week 4, you only list 1 day out of the week. So you're listing every single week. That's the one thing you are doing, but you're all over the scoreboard with when you list and what time and different times of the day. Sometimes it's at 9 o'clock in the morning, and other times it's at 8 o'clock at night. So you haven't committed to a dedicated time or a dedicated space to do these things. That is things that you like, I want or should be doing this more consistently. I should be committed to doing this activity. So that is the next thing, is to go through that process and focus on and talk about the things that you want or should be doing. So that's going to go on page 3 of your notebook. And you're going to create a column, start doing a brain dump. You're going to go down that column. In your spreadsheet, that's going to be column G, H, and I. So you're going to go down the column. Column G is the one you're going to fill in. You're going to leave H and I blank. H is going to be which day, and I is going to be the time. So let's try to bring it all home. And let's try to, as we're doing this brain dump, that's really what we're focusing on. And let's think about the things that are in our personal life that we do. Maybe, your parents are aging and you want to make sure you're more consistent about going by and seeing them or calling them. And that's something you feel like is really important, is going to serve your life well, maybe reduce your stress if you're concerned about some things that they've been doing. And so that might be something that you put down, that I want to start doing more consistently, checking on my mom every Monday, or checking on my dad every Tuesday and Thursday, whatever it happens to be, instead of just randomly checking on them. Okay. Um, Maybe there is spending more time with your kids. Maybe you work so much that you really don't get to spend any time with your kids. You really don't get to do anything. And you really want to be intentional about having some time dedicated to spending it with your kids. Maybe Friday night, movie night, or, the things I do with my kids is stuff that they don't like, which is making them cook and teaching them life skills. But that's a different story. They don't like it at all. They are not happy about it, and they don't appreciate it. So, but yes, working on life skills. That may be something that you do. The next is thinking about your financials. Maybe you don't balance your budget personally every week or every month or even every day. Maybe you don't work out the way you should, and you want to start being more consistent about exercising or eating better. Okay, at least 4 days a week I'm going to have a salad, like whatever it happens to be. And maybe there's some things that are family and household. Maybe you're inconsistent about when you guys do grocery shopping or meal planning, or maybe you don't do any of those things. Maybe you're inconsistent about, when you're going to clean up the house, or when, you've got soccer games. I've got track coming up. So, I have to execute a completely different schedule for the next several weeks because track supersedes anything else. So my point is, maybe there's some things in your personal life. The goal is to sort of work on building an organization and a structure, or bringing some organization to your life and also to your business, so that you can start to see improvements in every area of your life. It will be incremental and it will be slow going, but over time, where we are today, January, and where we see the progress that we made in 90 days, or the progress that we made in 6 months, or even the progress that we made in 9 months, like, we'll be in a completely different place. And we'll see that improvement if we're intentional about identifying the things that we want to improve or to get better at. So, so as you're going through and you're doing the brain dump on your 3 pages of your notebook or your columns in your spreadsheet, here's some other things to think about. So, sourcing, are these things that you already do, need to do, or should really be doing? You do them randomly, you should be more consistent about it. So, an example would be, sourcing to or really 4 to 20 weeks in advance. Are you one of those people that you actually are already thinking about, if you're selling seasonal products or you're selling products that are going to be in demand through the flow of the year? Like Easter is one of those. So are you going through the process and sourcing Easter right now? You're like, but it's January. I know. This is when you should be sourcing it. So are you doing that? Are you consistent about that? Like, I start sourcing back to school in February and March. That's just one of those things that I do. Do you do that, or do you not? So thinking about things in advance and start placing your orders for inventory. And here's the deal. The Chinese New Year is right upon us. So if you haven't already placed your orders for the inventory that you're going to need in the next couple of months, you better do that today. That needs to be like a today thing, or if not a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday thing. So that needs to go on your agenda. Okay. Things that you really should be or need to be doing. Upcoming holidays, events, seasonal, acquiring replenishables. Like maybe you sell replenishables, but you're really random about sourcing them or replenishing your inventory. So you need to be more consistent about it. Maybe that's what your challenge is. Consumables, wholesale products, drop shipping products. Like, what are the things that you do when it comes to sourcing that you either already do well, And maybe you are doing really well about making sure you're planning in advance for the products that you're planning, going out there and doing niche research for the products you plan on drop shipping or doing print on demand for. So you're already doing your niche research. And so you already know what the plan is. If you're a person that you wake up every day and you don't know what it is you're going to either be creating in your print on demand business or what it is that you're going to be, looking for to drop ship in the future, then that's an area of your life you need to get more organized in. Okay. And also private label and white label opportunities for those people who sell private label and white label products. Like there may be an opportunity for you to bundle your product with something else throughout the year at different times of the year because it makes sense. So again, maybe your product is a perfect product for hunting season, and then it's also a great product for Father's Day, and it's also a great product for Christmas, and it's also like there may be times of the year that you could bundle your product with something else and it actually go through the year and sort of increase your sales. Okay, or you offer promotions or something on it. Research, that's product research, listing research, keyword research. Are you already consistent about that, or are you random about it? Product research is one of those things that is required to run an e-commerce business. Even if you're doing a thin, very thin version of product research, doing product research is extremely important. So, are you going out there and you're doing product research to figure out what products you're going to sell next, which products are in demand, what the demand is, what is the price that people are willing to buy this product for, what are products that I could sell with this product? Like, are you doing any level of product research? Listing research before you create that listing, working on that title, that description, figure out what keywords. Do you do any of that research, or do you just random about it? You come up with some ideas, you write some stuff down, and you keep going. So again, what are you doing when it comes to your business and it comes to research? Listing, for some people, they create listings, but they really don't put any energy and effort into it. And their listing process is all over the scoreboard. Listing is the lifeblood of your business. If you don't do anything else, if you don't really do a good job at sourcing and you don't do a good job at research, you at least need to create the listing so that way people can buy it. They can find it and they can buy it. If the product does not exist anywhere, it only exists in your brain, then there's no way that people can pay you to get it. They'll never be able to buy it because it doesn't exist anywhere for them to buy it. So that is a requirement. If you're a person that you're running an e-commerce business and you create listings once a week, depending on your e-commerce model, depending on what it is your schedule permits, that may or may not make sense. Like if you have a private label product and you really only have certain times of the year where you bundle it with something else, then yeah, you're not creating listings all the time. But if you're doing drop shipping, doing wholesale, you're doing print on demand, you're doing retail arbitrage, online arbitrage, thrifting, all of those others, and even other private label opportunities. Maybe you go out there and you decide, okay, I'm going to have, 6 different private label products in a month. Okay, that's fine. You should be creating listings. Listings have to exist. So again, if you're random about creating listings, that is something you need to change for 2023. If you're consistent about it, congratulations, and I'm excited for you. So this is your opportunity to be honest with you. Are you consistent or are you random or non-existent? So which column does it go under for you? Does it go under the already do? Does it go under the need or must do? Probably need or must do, ding, ding, ding. Or is it go under the should or want to do? Then next, shipping activities or fulfillment activities. So sending shipments over to Amazon FBA or Walmart WFS, Walmart Fulfillment Services, sending it off to a prep center or 3PL, sending it, doing seller fulfilled, merchant fulfilled. So which one are you? Confirming your shipments. If they're, if you're drop shipping, just confirming and validating that the shipments went out, or auditing the shipments to confirm that they went out. Are you doing those things? Or are you just leaving it up to chance? And you get a call, I don't know, 15 days from now, or not a call, but an email from customers requesting a refund because they never received their product. So again, staying on top of that, do you check to confirm and validate that the shipments went out that are supposed to go out on autopilot? Administrative activities. You have platform reports on almost every platform that you sell on. You have access to some level of a report or summary or status, even the mobile apps. Like you have access to some information. So are you going through and running those reports? Are you looking at that data? Have you filed your taxes, doing bank reconciliation, balancing your budget, tracking your expenses and receipts, ordering inventory, checking your expiration dates, auditing your inventory, creating your standard operating procedures for the things that you want to outsource this year, reviewing and adjusting your prices, analyzing your data, reviewing your stats, like all of these things, all of these things. Are you doing these things? Any of them? No? Yeah? This is your opportunity to be honest with you. Do you do these things? Well, some of them you do once a month. Some of these things you do once a week. Some of them you do daily. So are you looking at your data? Do you know where you stand? Do you know what your stats are? Are you making data-driven decisions? Are you making touchy-feely decisions? So looking at the data, your administrative activities, customer service related activities, handling questions, dealing with returns, refunds, and reviews. Do you have a process for that? Or do you just not even go back and look at any of that? You've never done it. And you, so it's something that, like, well, maybe if I actually committed a little bit of energy to that, I might actually start to get some reviews to some of my products. I might actually be able to blah, 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 whatever it happens to be. Handling customer questions. Okay, well, yeah, I don't have a process for that. I really don't look to see if I have any customer questions. So that's something I really want to improve for 2023. So again, going through and asking the question of yourself, where do you stand? Education. I think that education is so important that I commit an hour and a half every single week to education. I don't commit more time than that. I encourage everybody to at least commit 30 minutes or an hour every week to learning something new. So what are the things that you want to do better? What are the things that you want to understand better? What are the skills that you want to develop? What is the knowledge that you want to gain? And then committing to that. And I normally, when it comes to education, I commit a month to a specific topic. So 1 hour a week for a month. If you want to get better at Facebook and Instagram ads, then every week for 1 hour, just spend time learning about Facebook or Instagram ads and then implement immediately the thing that you learned. So if you're learning on Sunday, if that's your learning hour, then Monday through Saturday, you apply what you learned on Sunday. One of the challenges that I see over and over again when working with people and talking to people about what they're doing and how things are going in their business is that they learn something and then they never do anything with it. They never apply it immediately. They lose that knowledge and that information very quickly. So then they got to go back and re-review the training that they already spent hours going through. Don't do that. Do not do that. Whatever you learn, immediately apply it. Immediately. So if you're committing the month of February to getting better at creating listings, then every single week, if it's Sunday, I'm going to use that example again. If Sunday is your 1 hour to learn how to get better at creating listings and learn how to optimize your listings, and that's your focus for the month of February, then Monday through Saturday, you should be applying every single time the thing that you learned when you're creating listings. What is that going to do to your business in March and April and May and June and July because you committed a month to learning something new? It's a game changer. So if you spent the month of January learning how to get better at Facebook ads, and then you spent the month of February learning how to get better at Google ads, and you spent the month of March learning how to get better at creating listings, what does your life look like in second quarter and third quarter and fourth quarter? What does your business look like? Because you committed that time and energy. It changes everything. So again, committing a finite amount of time. If you're a person that's only working 5 hours a week in your business, committing 1 hour a week to learning something new does not make logical sense. Do 30 minutes. Okay. You don't need an hour because you need that other time to be focusing on things that are going to make you money. Learning and education only makes you money once you apply what you learned. So don't be a person that absorbs knowledge and information and never applies it. Don't be that person. Don't be that person. Next is marketing and traffic. Are you sending your listings through Pingler or Ping Farm? If it's not something you're currently doing, that probably should be something that's on your list of things that you feel like you need to do, or must do, or things that you want or should be doing. Are you sharing your listings on the social media, putting them on a blog? Are you going through, if you don't have a lot of money, those two are free. They cost you no money. Are you creating marketing videos? Again, if you've got a mobile device, you can create a marketing video. It costs you no money. It costs you no money to create a marketing video on your phone. There's free apps out there that will allow you to edit the video that you record, and you don't have to show your face. There are tools and subscriptions out there for email marketing. So even if you start to build a very, 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 very small list of customers, at least you can send them an email. Okay? Even if your email list is like 200 people or 100 people, it's a start. And that's something you can do for absolutely free. Optimizing your listing costs you no money. Engaging influencers will cost you a little bit of money. Doing promotions, coupon sales, depending on the platform, whether or not they charge you fees for that kind of stuff, may or may not cost you money. And doing paid ads and campaigns are definitely going to cost you money. So you can start off with the free stuff to increase traffic to your listings and work on the thing that's really I call it the low-hanging fruit, the thing that is going to make the biggest impact in your business. That low-hanging fruit is going to be, creating that listing, or that's a low-hanging fruit thing. That's the thing that's going to make the biggest impact if you're not getting any traffic or getting noticed. If maybe you're creating listings but your listings are not attracting an audience, then maybe your low-hanging fruit is learning how to optimize your listing, and you throw energy in that for at least 1 month and then see what happens on the other side. So go through and fill in your list. Go through the process of just working 100% on doing that brain dump of listing things. And then once you've gone through the process of listing on either in your notebook, your 3 pages, or in your Google spreadsheet on sheet 1, then the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to start filling in those other columns that I said we're going to leave them blank for right now. So, column, we said we're filling in D, E, and F. So we're going to now fill in column E and F, and we're going to fill in column H and I. And those are the days of the week in which you could potentially do these activities and the time. Now, when you first fill in those columns, they are not going to be perfect because you're just trying to figure it out. It's like creating or working with a puzzle or playing Tetris. You're just trying to piece together the pieces. So that's fine. So after you've done your brain dump, figure out which day of the week makes the most sense to put this activity, or days of the week. If it's something you're going to be doing Monday through Friday, or Saturday through Sunday, or Sunday through Saturday, or, Tuesday through Thursday, like which days of the week make the most sense to do this activity. And remember, you got some personal stuff on there too. So that includes, if you wrote down exercise, if that includes stretching, if that includes drinking coffee and meditating or reading your Bible every day, includes those things. And then what time makes the most sense to maybe engage in this activity. Some of the activities, maybe you have a 9 to 5, and so you can't engage in that in the middle of the day. Whereas other activities, you're going to be like, yeah, I can do this in the middle of the day. So which time of day makes the most sense? And as you're going through and kind of organizing this, you're going to notice that some of the things that you wrote down in your brain dump are things that are defined or will be what's called mini habits or mini goals. So you may have to convert them to mini habits or mini goals. Maybe one of the things you wrote down is to create 5 listings every single day, but you are really bad about creating listings, or create 10 listings a day. And you're really bad about creating listings. So maybe your average is like 1. That's okay. Or your average is 2. That's okay. All right. So what we're going to do with that is we're going to work on building that muscle, and we're going to use a mini habit or mini goal to do that. So a mini habit or mini goal is something that's easy to attain or do. If I said I want to walk for 30 minutes every single day, what I might do is gradually build up to walking 30 minutes every single day. So we're going to gradually build up to creating 5 listings a day, or gradually build up to 10 listings a day. And the way that we do that is we create a stair-stepping type of plan. So the first goal is understanding that you're working to build the habit of consistency of just walking every day, period. Regardless of the amount of time and energy put into it, that's the goal, is to start off with just building the habit of consistency around walking every single day, or building the habit of consistency around listing every single day. We're not saying what the volume is going to be initially. We're just saying, we're acknowledging the fact that we have to build the habit of consistency of doing this thing every single day. Okay. So now that we know, okay, we're going to do this every single day, let's start off with 4 listings. If our goal is to create 5 listings a day, or the goal is to create 10 listings a day, I'm going to start off with maybe focusing on, creating 1 listing for the first week. So week 1, I'm going to create 1 listing 5 days a week, no matter what. Then week 2, I'm going to create 2 listings a day, 5 days a week, no matter what. Week 3, 3 listings a day, 5 days a week, no matter what. Week 4, and then so we get all the way up to week 5, and now we're at the place that we ultimately wanted to be. So we took the stair-step approach to get there. Same thing with, walking every single day. Maybe I start off with 5 minutes in week 1. Week 2, I go up to 10 minutes. Week 3, I go up to 15 minutes. And then before I know it, I'm at my 30 minutes every single day. So is 5 minutes doable? Absolutely. Is 1 listing a day doable? Absolutely. So it's the stair-step approach to achieving that goal and getting you to where you want to be long-term. Now, there are days where you may say, you know what, I'm going to go ahead and create all 5. That's fine. But your obligation at the beginning is only just to create 1. So you could create the 1 and walk away, or you can go ahead and push yourself and just create the 5 no matter what. So that way you're not stressed out about building that habit up and that consistency up. Then there are things that are going to be habit stacks or routines, things that make sense to put in a logical sequential order. So listing may be one of your challenges. Maybe you're doing thrifting, or you're doing arbitrage, and so retail arbitrage. And so you like to go out and you like to source, and then you come back and you're just random about where your packages are, and whether or not they're still in the trunk of the car, or whether they're downstairs, or whether you threw them in the garage. And then when it's time to sit down and list, you got to go hunt down everything. So you say that you're going to list for 1 hour, and your 1 hour starts at 9 a.m. So you spend the first 5 minutes of 9 a.m. just going to go get the packages out of the trunk and out of the garage and out of the car and out of the downstairs. Like, okay, that's wasted time, because as part of your routine, that's one of the things you need to change up. You need to actually put the packages in the workspace where you want them to be, where they need to be, where you're actually going to do the work. And maybe one of the things you decide, I'm going to go ahead and create the pictures or take the pictures as soon as I bring the packages upstairs, or the bags upstairs. I'm upstairs, sorry. So I reference upstairs, but wherever your workspace is, upstairs, downstairs, a garage, wherever it is. So my point is putting your arbitrage shopping packages in the place in which you're actually going to be creating the listings. Maybe for some of you, you're that person, you go out and you scan if you're doing retail arbitrage, but you don't list the item immediately, adding it to your inventory if you're piggybacking off a listing. You need to click on the list button if you're selling on Amazon, instead of, not doing that. Or if you're selling on eBay, list yours. So sell yours. You need to click on the sell mine, sell yours button. I can't remember what the label says. I just know it's something about it's yours, whatever it is. So again, looking for those opportunities to be more efficient in the listing window, so that 1 hour really becomes 1 hour of truly creating listings versus 1 hour of getting ready to create listings. That changes everything. So the amount of listings that you can create in 1 hour goes from, I normally get about 2 listings created an hour, versus, you know what? I created 12 listings this hour. That is different. Very, very different. And that's where you want to be. That's where you want to get to. All right. So you got to look at your routine around listing, and let's put things in logical sequential order, like you were making a sandwich. And what are the activities around that? Where are my packages? Where are my bags? Where is everything when I'm ready to create the listing? Have I already cleaned the product up to remove any whatever off of it? Did I take the tags off that are going to be visible in the pictures? Or do I even need to take the picture? Does the image already exist out there that I can borrow and edit? Again, things like that. And then, do I already know the price that I'm going to list this item from? Do I know how it's going to be shipped? Am I going to ship it? Am I going to use one of the fulfillment services? What am I doing here? So again, going through that process. And then, so looking at your routine around that particular activity and putting things in logical sequential order, because you're already doing them. You're just doing them a little inefficiently or haphazardly. So that's taking all the steps and putting them together in a logical order. Another might be your morning routine with your kids or your bedtime routine with your kids and putting things in logical sequential order there. Time blocks. Not time blocks don't work for everybody, but for some people they work in helping them to stay focused and committed to the activity they're going to do. For other people, they prefer to-do lists or checklists, and that's fine too. Just having a repetitive checklist that you follow. So this is my Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday checklist, and then this is my Thursday, Friday checklist, and this is my Saturday, and this is my Sunday. So I got like 4 different checklists in this example. Or you're a person that you like to have time blocks, so the entire schedule is already out there and you just have windows of time in which you're focused on this one thing and nothing else. And this is what I will say: when it comes to your business or time with your kids, your family, your pets, or your time, make sure that you're doing everything that you can to make sure you're successful in that window. The reason I say that is because we are so trained to our phones right now. We're trained that when we get a notification, we need to immediately look at it and respond to it. Look, I did that in the middle of this session. And so when the ding goes off or something pops up, we're just ready to respond and look and see. And it does not require our beck and call. Look, we somehow survived in this world without all this crazy technology before it got as crazy as it's gotten in the last 10, 15 years. We somehow made it through. So you've got to decide that when it comes to your e-commerce business, whatever time that you committed to engage in an activity, that you actually give it everything that you got. That you turn off your notifications, you turn off your phone, you don't answer the phone if it rings, no matter who it is or what it is, let it go to voicemail. If this window of time, if there's 1 hour from 9 to 10 that you say you're going to create listings for your business, then you don't let anything interrupt that or bleed into that unless it is an emergency. That it is committed sacred time in which you are going to focus 100% on that. Each one of us have things throughout our life and throughout our day where we have sacred time and we don't let anything bleed into that. If you're a person that goes to church every Sunday, that is committed time. And you are committed to going to church on Sunday, or if you're in a Bible study group or whatever it happens to be, you have this window in which it is committed sacred time that you don't allow anything else, unless it's an emergency, to bleed into that time. That's the same way you need to look at it when it comes to key areas of your e-commerce business. Put the phone in the other room, turn off the notifications, turn off the phone if you need to. Unless you need that phone to take pictures of products. And let me just tell you, I have 3 phones. Sometimes there's a reason why I have 3 phones. Because one of them is for pictures. The majority of my pictures are taken with one phone. And that phone only has the apps on it that I need to be able to edit the images, and that's it. Yes, I have a crazy phone bill, but my point is I don't use that phone. As a matter of fact, people get mad at me because sometimes they text me on that phone and I don't really see the messages at all until I'm about to work in my business or get ready to take pictures or record videos. That phone serves one purpose, and all the important stuff is on the other phones. So my point is, you have to say that this window of time that I am committing, whether it's a time block or a checklist, that you're using every single day to make progress in your business, and every single week to make progress in your business, that this is committed or sacred time. If it is time that you're willing to share with other stuff, including notifications from some random person, or a text message from a spammer, or a call from a what is it, a telemarketer, that's fine. I don't answer my phone during that window. My kids get mad at me. I had to train them to stop chasing down my phone when they heard it ring somewhere else. Mom, here's your phone. I don't need my phone right now. I don't need that phone. I need this phone. Put the phone back. I don't care who it is. But so and so is calling. I can talk to them later. If it's an emergency, they'll call back 3 times. If it's not an emergency, I'll call them when I'm done. This is what mommy's doing right now. So my point is, you have to look at your business and the time that you commit to the different activities in your business that way. And if you are a person that makes that mistake, I understand. It's okay. We're all human. Do things to help you to be successful and get better at that. If you only have one phone, that's fine. Turn off the notifications for 1 hour. Turn the ringer off. Turn the phone completely off if you need to. Just turn it completely off. So then that way you can't hear the notifications. You can turn the phone back on. Your life will continue to function and operate. The world will not come to an end if your phone is off. And if it's that important, because I have a son who has seizures, so me being able to walk 100% away from my phone is not an option. So that's the reason why I put it in another room. So if there's an emergency situation, it's in another room. And if I hear it ring 3 different times, I know something is up and I got to go get, if it's like consecutive, whatever, back to back to back, then I am going to go check it. So you have to decide. You got to put processes in place to help you to be successful, so you don't allow those types of things to interrupt the committed time that you are working in your business. So the next thing is making sure that you've established some SMART goals. Some of the activities that you put down on your brain dump, and also in this list that you're working to sort of organize, is some of them, they will be SMART goals. SMART goals are specific. They are measurable, they're achievable or attainable, they're realistic or relevant, and they're timely or time bound. An example of that would be, let's say you're committed to first quarter 2023, you're going to create 500 listings in first quarter. Okay, 500 product listings in first quarter. Break it down, divide it into 3. So then that tells you how many listings you need to create each month. Divide that into 4. That tells you how many listings you need to create each week. Divide that into 7 or 5. That tells you how many listings you got to create each day to reach your ultimate goal of 500 for the month. So you'll know every single day whether or not you're creating the number of listings on a daily basis, Monday through Friday, or whatever your days of the week that you're going to work in your business. You'll know whether or not you're going to be able to reach that goal at the end of the month. Doesn't mean you can't do extra. And there will be days where you have interruptions where you don't even get the minimum number that's required. So you're going to have to play catch up the days after that. But the point is, you have something that you're working towards. You have something that is attainable for you based on the amount of time that you've committed that you're going to work in your e-commerce business. So what are your SMART goals around your business? Maybe one of your SMART goals is that you want to average in first quarter, you want to have an average ROI of 30%. That means you're going to be intentional about the different types of products that you're going to source and the price you're going to sell it for. Again, maybe you want to have X number of sales per day. That is something that you can't always control, but there are activities that you can do that help increase your chances of getting more sales. So again, doing what you need to do to reach those goals, creating a SMART goal, something that is specific, measurable, attainable or achievable, relevant or realistic, are relevant, realistic, and timely or time bound. Those are SMART goals. So figure out which one of your goals that you are talking through today, that you've done this brain dump on, are really SMART goals, or really tied to SMART goals, to help you to reach your ultimate goal for the month or for the quarter or even for the year. Once we've gone through and taken our brain dump, put down the days of the week and figure out which ones are going to be mini goals and which ones are going to be a part of a time block and which ones are going to be, part of a routine or habit stack, and which ones are going to be SMART goals. Now, and sometimes the goals can be part of two, like they're going to be maybe a mini goal and also a SMART goal. So it can be two things. So then the next thing is to actually start organizing on sheet 2 of your spreadsheet, or if you're using Google Sheets, or on the fourth page of your notebook, if you're writing this in a notebook. Now we're going to start organizing this so we can actually build out a real sample schedule. So the sample schedule in the daily ecom planning checklist or the weekly ecom planning checklist, a visual representation of this happens to be on page, I think 6. And so you can scroll to, page 3, page 3 or 4. So you can scroll to page 3 or 4 and you can go and look at that example if you've downloaded the document. If you haven't downloaded it, again, you can go to the eCommerce Planning Facebook group and go download the document so that you can see a visual representation of what it might look like if you committed to time blocks and working your business while working a 9 to 5, or you're working your business while working a part-time job, or you're a stay-at-home mom or stay-at-home dad, or whatever it happens to be. So it gives you the opportunity to sort of organize your day and structure it so that you can start making progress in your e-commerce business. Now, whatever schedule you're going to build, again, this is a template that we're working with. This is a template that's temporary. So you're going to use this for specific times of your life. You're going to test drive the first version of this for at least 2 to 3 weeks. Just test drive it, execute it per the schedule as much as you can for at least 2 to 3 weeks. You're going to tweak things because it's not going to be perfect from the jump. It's not. It's going to need to be edited, fixed, modified, whatever. And then once you kind of fine-tuned it and you feel like you've got a routine that works for you, now you're going to maybe create additional templates because you need them. So I mentioned before that my son runs track. So I have a weekly template for when my son runs track because track has its own level of demands. And then I have a weekly template for when my kids are in school, and I have a weekly template and schedule for when my kids are out of school. And then I have one for fourth quarter. So I'm running with 4 to 5 different templates because of the fact that I have to rotate them. You may have the same thing at the end of the day because your life is not static. You're going to have to make some adjustments. There's going to be some things that you have to move around. So again, if you're going to have multiple versions of this over time, but let's just get the first one built and then we can modify it and create different versions. So we've gone through step 1 of this process of building out the template as our guide for the week. Now we're going to move to step 2. Step 2 is creating the actual schedule. So in your time block, if you said you're going to create listings, I go back to the beginning of this conversation. What listings, if my time block says I'm creating listings from 9 to 10, Monday through Saturday, what listings am I creating for next week? So on Monday and Tuesday, maybe the listings that I'm creating for next week are for Valentine's Day, and Wednesday and Thursdays are for St. Patty's Day, and Friday and Saturday are for Easter. I'm just using some holidays because they just came to my brain. But my point is, maybe those are the listings I'm creating. And if I'm doing print on demand, again, going through that process. Maybe when it comes to sourcing, and it says I have a sourcing time block, and my sourcing time block is from 10 to 11. So maybe that sourcing related activity is from 10 until 11. I am sourcing or placing my orders for products that I'm going to need from China because I know Chinese New Year is going to happen and they're going to be shutting down everything for a long period of time. So I need to place my order now so that I don't run into that situation where I can't get my inventory. So maybe Monday and Tuesday, it's all about 100% placing orders of products that I need from China. So as a person that is supposed to be organized, I should know what products I already have in China and who the supplier is that I have to go after. Okay. So that you should know. It should be in your records somewhere. If you're keeping track of everything. If you're not keeping track of everything, then again, if you get the My Ecom Planner, you can put it in there so you know where you're getting specific products and who your suppliers are that you're working for different things. Okay. And then the next thing, so that's Monday and Tuesday. And then Wednesday and Thursday, maybe I'm ordering from my supplier that I get my Easter stuff from, or maybe I'm ordering from my supplier that I get my St. Patty's Day stuff from, or maybe I'm ordering from my supplier that I get my spring break stuff from. So again, or maybe I have 3 or 4 suppliers that I order from for spring break. Or if I'm doing print on demand, I don't have to order anything. I just need to make sure I go out there and I do the keyword research and I begin to build the products that I'm going to be selling and deciding which products I'm going to superimpose these designs on. Okay. So if I say that I'm engaging in a shipping related activity, you may not be physically shipping anything. Maybe you're doing drop shipping, print on demand, or whatever. Or maybe you have a fulfillment center, somebody else is shipping it for you. So some people have their inventory ordered and it goes directly to their fulfillment center. And other people, they have it come to them and then they put it together, put the labels, like if you're doing FBA or WFS, and you put your labels and stuff on it, then you send it off to the fulfillment center, whatever your process is. So again, you may have a shipping activity that, hey, every Saturday I put together my shipments to go out to FBA, or every Friday I do FBA or WFS or whatever it happens to be. So again, putting together a routine that works for you and based on your life and when you're doing certain things in your business. Maybe you're sending multiple shipments a week. Maybe you send shipments twice a week instead of once a week. So again, this is the what. So what shipments am I sending to my fulfillment center? Well, maybe I'm sending the shipments of stuff that I know came in from, China, and I predicting based on the tracking that it's going to arrive on Monday. So I need to make sure on Wednesday I'm sending that out, or I'm going to send it out on Thursday, whatever the day is for next week, because that's my time block that I've already committed to. If you're going out and doing retail arbitrage or doing thrifting or whatever the case may be, and you're going to send inventory to a fulfillment center, maybe you commit every single Thursday. I send shipments off to my fulfillment center. So when it comes to my shipping activity, I know that if I did retail arbitrage on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, on Thursday, that is the stuff that I'm shipping to the fulfillment center. So again, the what am I shipping? I got to know what the other activities are that I'm engaging in that week. So this actual schedule is all about the what when it comes to these time blocks that you've committed. What is the thing you're going to be shipping? What is the thing you're going to be listing? What is the thing you're going to be sourcing? What is the thing that you're going to be learning? You have a learning time block. What is it that you're going to be learning next week? Okay. And also you have a marketing and or traffic time block. So if you maybe run ads or you do marketing for your business, whether it be Facebook ads, Google ads, maybe you're engaging influencers, maybe you're creating your own user generated content. So again, what day of the week are you doing that? And then what are you doing to schedule that? That's part of your marketing strategy so that people can see it. Whether when I say scheduling, like I have scheduling tools to be able to do that, but maybe you're manually just creating the listings yourself so that they can just go live, meaning that whether it's a TikTok video or whether it's something you upload to YouTube or whatever the case may be. So again, putting that together. And maybe for 2023, you're like, I'm going to buy some scheduling software so I don't have to do this myself manually. Makes life a whole lot easier. So my point is, what are the activities in which you're engaging in when it comes to your e-commerce business? As you're going through the what, some of the other things you're going to be thinking about is you need to eyeball or scan your monthly goals for this month. Since this is the third full week or the fourth full week that we're actually going into for January, what are the things that are on your monthly plan that you need to be thinking about or working on or focusing on when it comes to your e-commerce business? What are the priorities that you're going to set for next week as the fourth week? So if you haven't met your monthly goals and this is the last full week of January, what do you need to throw into next week in order to start chipping away at your monthly goals for January? Your priorities for the week. What are the top things that really need to happen? One of the things should be you need to order inventory from China because the Chinese New Year, things are going to be shut down for a period of time. So if you're using them and that's part of your strategy, that should be a priority for you next week. Okay. What are the other priorities when it comes to your life and your business, your personal things? It could be something spiritual. Maybe there's a women's conference, or maybe you're into the 21-day challenge, like our church is 21 days of prayer and fasting. Maybe when it comes to personal or financial or health and fitness or family and household, like what are those things that need to happen next week for your life? Don't overlook those because sometimes they're part of the priority list. Okay. What are the habits that you're tracking and that you're building for the last 30 days or for the next 30 days or for the 30 days you're currently in? The habits that you're working to track every single day. So you need to incorporate that into the what when you build your schedule for next week. You're going to use that template. You're going to pay attention to what's on your monthly plan for the month. Make sure you've incorporated those activities or you're making progress towards those. You're going to make sure you identify the priorities, and you're going to make sure you're identifying and incorporating those into your plan that you build for activity next week. And you're going to focus on your habits, your habits that you're working to track while you're going through this process. Once you go through that, now you have a shell of the activities that you're going to be doing every single day. And you now have a plan or a game plan for your daily activities that you're going to engage in. What I'm doing Monday, what am I doing Tuesday, what am I doing Wednesday, what am I doing Thursday, what am I doing Sunday? I just skipped over Sunday, but my point is, what are you doing each one of those days towards your life and towards your business so that you can build the habit of consistency? That is what the weekly plan allows you to do. And it is so easy to do once you build a template. You can just plug in the pieces of what it needs to be. Find and replace. Playing Tetris, putting together a puzzle. So I hope this information is helpful. I hope that you use it to help you in your daily planning, your weekly planning, your monthly planning. This will help you get through the week, and everything you do in the week helps you contribute to your success for the month. So this is the last full week of January. Make it count, make it matter, make progress towards your monthly goals. And with that, my name is Nicole Whitlock. This is the weekly planning session. My passion is helping people on their e-commerce journey, helping them to be organized, focused, and consistent in their business. If that's you, I'm here for you. You can schedule a free 20-minute coaching session by going to ecomsellers.com, clicking on free resources and scrolling down the page and scheduling a free 20-minute coaching session. In addition to that, I want to encourage you to grab the My eCom Planner. It was created for sellers by sellers. It is the ultimate e-commerce planner. You can go to myecomplanner.com to grab your e-commerce planner. And if you need some support in 2023, join eCom Sellers Academy. We're going to be doing some pretty cool things over there. It is terribly affordable. It's $17.99 a month. You can join eCom Sellers Academy by going to ecomsellersacademy.com and signing up today. If you sign up for the lifetime membership, you'll get a free e-commerce planner along with that. So sign up for the lifetime, get a free e-commerce planner. As a member of eCom Sellers Academy, you get live weekly trainings, you get a live weekly Q&A. In addition to that, you also get a free arbitrage list every single week, a free wholesale list every week, and you gain access to a membership site of over 200 training videos. So with that, I hope that you have an amazingly blessed, extremely focused, and highly profitable day today and this weekend. And with that, I'm still live on Clubhouse. So if you want to continue the conversation, you can go over to Clubhouse. I'm going to say goodbye for now. So goodbye, Facebook. Goodbye for now.